Why hello there everybody, how's it hangin'? It's Eric here, and it appears that the Johnny Test Season 7 trailer has just been released this morning. Obviously, with all the excitement flowing around, it's time to dive into a trailer analysis. The first thing we see in the trailer is either Susan or Mary pulling a lever in our first look at the lab. This part actually instantly reminded me of the ending of the theme songs where we see Susan pulling down a lever, where the logo flashes in. And speaking of the theme song, guess what appears next? That's right, one of the first things we see in the opening, a black background with the radioactive symbol on it. Now, next is a transition, and this transition is so freaking cool, man. Here we have the radioactive symbol falling flat on the ground, again, just like the opening theme. However, here it opens up and we see Johnny arise from the hatch opening. He appears on a stage with lasers above pointing at him, Dookie with coffee sitting in a chair watching, and we zoom out to see Susan and Mary getting ready to activate the experiment, where Mary pushes the big red button, and when she presses it, we see two clones of Johnny emerge from behind him. Another zap creates another similar attribute to the show. Here we see Johnny dressed as a king, which may remind you of the episode King Johnny, and a final zap turning him into Johnny X, where he flies off creating smoke to indicate a transition. I'm actually thinking this might be a part of the theme song, judging by how many components there are. The lever pull, Johnny X, the radioactive symbol. So yeah, you guys let me know your thoughts on that. And with this, we have a new voice line from Johnny saying, "The name's Johnny, Johnny Test." We then find our first look at the kitchen in the Test's house, and I've actually came to notice from the scene that Season 7 is actually using the Steven Silver designs. If you don't remember, I've done a video about that many months ago. I'll have an annotation up in the corner if you're interested. Anyway, the kitchen has more detail to it than the original. Over on the left, we have a new table and a picture of sliced meatloaf behind. The curtains have the same color, but different patterns. Anyway, so here is our first look at Hugh and Lila. Johnny X flies by, and Hugh's meatloaf flies into his signature pink apron because of that. We shift to another scene where Susan and Mary appear to be jungle girls, likely pretending to be George of the Jungle, duh. And, we'll probably do a better job of watching out for that tree. Anyway, they swing in on vines and startle Johnny and Dookie. And speaking of George of the Jungle, this background design really reminds me of that show. Anyway, something interesting I've noticed during the scene that I failed to notice during the first scene is that Susan apparently has turquoise eyes, which I find extremely strange. Either way, perhaps we'll find a lore reason behind this during an episode. And with this, we have the voice line continuing, "That's Susan and Mary, my smart sisters," which we switched to a new scene of Susan and Mary saying their iconic phrase, "We're such geniuses." And we see them and Dookie enjoying a nice popsicle. And once again, I am not used to seeing the girls with the same eye color. Man, I'm gonna have to get used to that. It's so offsetting. Anyway, I personally don't mind it all that much. We shift to another scene with Johnny and Dookie sitting at a picnic table having some delicious strawberry ice cream, which coincidentally is my personal favorite ice cream. WildBrain, still be spying on me. Shifting to another scene of Johnny and Dookie standing out front of a guitar shop, I'm assuming, while they be fist pumping. And with that, we have the voice line continuing, "And that's Dookie, my best bud." We then cut to a scene where Dookie, Susan, and Mary are on a watercraft, presumably searching or rescuing Johnny, judging by Dookie's voice line, "We're coming, Johnny." We then move on to one of my personal favorite scenes in this trailer. This one where we finally get a nice family picture. Without the help of the local mall. Anyway, we see the entire family dressed nicely for a family photo. And Dookie slides in that pose, with the girl saying, "Say cheese." We then get a flash to Johnny and Dookie running out of the door to the sidewalk, with Johnny raising his arms in the air saying, "Another day in Porkbilly." However, right when you least expect it, these robotic arms come from above, grab them, and pull them away. Anyway, can we just take a moment and appreciate this gorgeous and artistic background? Holy, I can't believe this is Johnny Test. Still can't. But speaking of which, this is our first look at the outside of the Test's house, and holy, I'm speechless. Again, gorgeous. This model still attains the double chimney basketball hoop, but instead of red, it's yellow. And yeah, the detail is insane. Just insane. Oh, and speaking of insane, isn't it odd that the first bird we see in this scene is colored blue? Let that fact sink in. We then cut to a scene of the girls in a room, speeding off the screen with Mary saying, "To the lab." So yeah, nice to see that catchphrase is still in the series. And with that, this is our first listen to Mary's new voice actress, Emily Tennant. So yeah, so far she's done a bang-on job. We then cut to Susan pressing some buttons, opening up this containment unit, and displays a new invention called the GPS escape, a play on word of GPS and escape. And the screen seems to possess a section of the world map. And judging by the voice line, it appears that this episode takes place with summer coming up very soon. We then cut to a wrestling episode, with this large wrestler tackling a buff Johnny. You know, I'm noticing a wrestling trend with new Johnny Test. We had an episode dedicated to that subject in the Lost Web series, and now this one. So yeah, wrestling fans will certainly get a joy out of this one. We then cut to Susan and Mary in a vehicle likely shrunken down. This made me think of the episode Johnny in Black and White. And they appear to find this bacteria monster or something. Jump cutting to Dookie, Susan and Mary screaming. Now, we've seen the scene near the beginning, but we now know that this scene takes place in that very vehicle, judging by the control unit and microphone in the middle. And finally, we see our first look at Speed McCool in the style. Looking as cool as ever, and he appears to be portraying Robin Hood, blowing up a castle. The girl's voice line during this reads, "With summer coming up, we'll have more time for testing the GPS escape. It'll take you to the funnest places on Earth." And after that, Johnny enters the unit saying in excitement, "What do I push?" And after he presses something inside the house seems to explode. We then cut to an extremely interesting scene, because here we're seeing many familiar faces. The Brain Freezer, Dark Vegan, Mr. White, Mr. Black, Zizrar, Mr. Mittens, and Albert. So them and the kids are wearing these new suits, which remind me of their turbo action suits. However, these ones look like an upgraded version of those. Anyway, we see them running out of this building in panic, and Dark Vegan seems to comedically try to put his boot back on while escaping. We then cut to a scene where Dookie's voice line during the scene makes me think this environment takes place in a video game. Anyway, so we see the kids with blasters aiming at this big red robot presence. And who do we see controlling that robot? Why, that'd be our first look at the one and the only Bling Bling Boy while he evil laughs. Dookie's voice line in the segment reads, "Okay, is everybody ready to play Melee Island?" And after that we see Johnny taunting Eugene saying, "Looks like I got an upgrade," which where something magnetically pulls away his suit of armor. We then cut to a close-up scene with Brain Freezer, Mr. Mittens, and Albert. They all appear to be drinking a beverage, and as well as the first time we're hearing Mr. Mittens speak modernly. And speaking of which, I've noticed that Mr. Mittens has a scar around his right eye. I'm not sure if this belongs to his video game avatar of himself, or if it's just plainly a new design on him. We then cut to Bling Bling's first words in the trailer. I really should savor this moment, where he takes out his phone to take a selfie. Cutting to another scene of Hugh holding a baby. Changing to a new camera perspective while we hear our first voice lines of Hugh and Lila in this trailer. They're saying in shock, "We have a baby?" And soon enough, the baby reveals itself as a robot. This being a humanoid created by Susan and Mary. However, before knowing that, this part of the trailer evoked a hilarious reaction out of me during my reaction video. After watching it back, I was like, my reaction to that was just priceless. Moving on to a scary part where the baby is on sleep mode, and the eyes jump open with a scary white light coming out of them. Susan's voice line after her parents' shocked reaction being, "It's really just a baby bot." and Johnny saying quickly after, "I'm telling you, that baby is evil!" I feel like this episode is going to act like an episode from The Adventures of Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius, although I'm not sure of the title of that one, but if you've seen the show, you have to know what episode I'm referring to. Here is our first look inside Johnny's room. As you can see, the design is similar but more detailed. We still have his desk, his laptop, the bookshelf, and whatnot. We then get confirmation that this baby bot is indeed evil. It's in the lab operating this robot body. Wait, so this robot is operating a robot. Huh. And if you look closely, you'd actually notice that Susan and Mary appear frozen. Keep this in mind because this will come in handy later. We then hear the baby bot saying, "I'm a bad boy." And with this robot suit, it kind of reminds me of that super mega brain freezer suit from Johnny Sickle. So yeah, you guys let me know your thoughts on that. And we cut to Johnny and Dookie standing at the front door, with Dookie saying, "Okay, now he's evil." Here, we also find out that Dookie has a phone. If you look closely, you'd notice that Dookie's holding a phone with a bone phone case. I actually want to see a scene where Hugh is struggling to work his phone, and Johnny has to help him. That'd be so funny. We then cut to a scene of Johnny and Dookie running for dear life from a gigantic pumpkin rolling after them. This area appears to be some kind of a corn maze, so perhaps the family is having a family outing. We also see this character who appears crazy. She's challenging anybody, saying, "Who else wants to challenge my crazy maze?" We see Johnny interested in the challenge, Dookie suspicious, and this dude looking pretty spooked. In the background, we also see a Ferris wheel on the left and a water tower on the right. We already know the kids have gotten through a marshmallow maze, so how different could a corn maze be? We then cut to more scary scenes, with this guy in a gas mask wielding a buzzsaw or a hedge trimmer in a swamp, cutting to Johnny and Dookie getting startled by a giant bear in the same swamp. Then cutting to Johnny and Dookie sitting on the couch. So with that, this is another look at the living room. This part has more elements visible. As we can see, we've got a lot of upgrades. The couch appears the same, but colored red. Johnny's dreams came true of getting a new TV. So we see the guys eating some popcorn. Very similar to the beginning of Johnny's Amazing Race. Here, likely, Johnny and Dookie watching a scary movie instead of a survival show. Also, in the background we see an updated version of the picture frame of Great-Great-Grandpa Test. Dookie's voice line reads, "How hard is it to get through one measly night in the woods without freaking out?" Johnny replying, You freak out at night all the time." Running through a few humorous video proofs of this concept on Johnny's phone. The next scene, we also find a new character. This character looks like a librarian. She's wearing a dark blue gown, she has gray hair in a bun with blue highlights, and she appears to be shooting a blaster. The background looks like a library as well. Cutting to another scene of a new character looking out a windshield thing, with a scary 8-bit monster out front. Cutting to Bling Bling shooting this orange goo from this blaster. I may believe the setting behind him is in his volcano lab. Cutting to another scene of that wrestling episode from earlier. The difference here is that Johnny ain't buff no more, and the other guy is. This startles Johnny a whole lot. We then get a close-up of Dark Vegan saying, "Time to destroy Johnny Test." This has to be the most badass scene of the entire trailer. We have him out on a starry night, swinging his light stick back. Man, these new designs are so cool. Anyway, so it appears that this is around Christmas time, judging by the Christmas decorations along the neighborhood and the snow. We then cut to Johnny pledging, "It's team-up time," with Susan and Mary hesitating to say, "Fine, what's the plan?" They appear outside of a jewelry store, and something I found interesting in the scene is that Mary has new shoes. Her shoes used to be turquoise, but are now pink, so that is just adorable. It's also interesting to see the girls with more darkened colored shirts. We then cut to a scene of Johnny and Dookie rocking out with guitars. Susan and Mary high-fiving, Dookie kissing the ground, which we know isn't the first time. Johnny's head getting cloned onto this guy, this lady, and this dog. We now see Johnny and Dookie during the Christmas episode, riding a robotic T-Rex wearing a Santa Claus hat. We also see completely updated winter outfits for the guys. Another scene with the baby bot, using Frozen Hugh and Lila as a chair. Johnny wearing a spandex suit, evil laughing, and wow, those hair outlines are thick. Cutting to Johnny holding a box and Dookie running away from this giant hostile sphere monster. Johnny and Dookie running away from gators, and again, the background art. Holy. We then find top 10 scenes in this trailer. Number 1. Bling Bling and a giant Frosty the Snowman in the Christmas episode, Shakin' It. A Halloween episode where Johnny is dressed as Speed McCool and Dookie dressed as his monkey partner. Then cutting to what appears to be a scene from The Quickest and the Monkiest, Johnny being silly behind the girl's lab equipment, with our perspective seeing the curved glass distorting his face. We see Bling Bling turning around on his big boss man chair. However, here he has a poop emoji shaped head. We also see 2 familiar faces and 2 new ones of Bling Bling scientists. A scene of Dookie on his phone with Susan writing on a clipboard and Mary pressing the big red button, ending with Johnny X getting mutated, and the ending of what we believe to be the brand new theme song. We then see our logo with this orange background. Man, that looks so cool. And the final scene is of Johnny with gigantic hair. Man, I don't even know how that happened, but you know, we'll see. Getting ready to ride that ride at those amusement parks where you're in a ball launching up in the air. After he gets off of that ride, he says, "I am never going on that ride again." And finally, we've also got some description confirming our release date. Quote, produced from script to screen by our incredible artists and crew, Johnny Test is beaming to Netflix on July 16th. Find out just how much trouble one boy, a dog, and 2 sisters can get into, end quote. So yeah, that was my analysis on the brand new Johnny Test Season 7 trailer. And if you did enjoy this one, why not leave a like rating on the video, as you guys did really help a lot and would greatly appreciate it. So, this is crazy. I still can't believe it. Like, hours later, I still can't believe it. And still, I don't know if my 12-hour stream for this specific cause was the cause of this, or they already had planned to release something like this on this day. I don't know, but either way, I couldn't be more happy. I could not be more happy. Wow. But jeez, I still can't believe it. Like, I'm just speechless for this entire thing. I loved it, every second of this trailer. And if you guys enjoyed every second of that trailer, you guys know what to do. If you're new, why not subscribe for more Johnny Test videos, like top 10s, theories, news videos, and you know, that kind of stuff. And trust me, if you're a fan, you are absolutely not going to want to miss any upcoming Season 7 and 8 videos coming to the channel very soon. And if you want to be first to those videos, why not study that bell down below? And man, you guys let me know your overall thoughts and opinions on this trailer. How much are you guys looking forward to this? Are you like over the top excited, or are you guys just like excited? You guys let me know. You guys know me. I'm over the top excited. Oh, maybe one more over the top, but you know, save some room for the road. I don't know. But yeah, I just want to thank all of you guys for supporting me and supporting the channel. All leading up to this one moment. Wow, man, what a wild ride Season 7 has been. All up to this moment. The 3 teaser images. One of them not knowing that it was actually the Season 7 style. That was like the we were hiring one. We've also got like Bling Bling, Lofi, Hip Hop Ways to Date Susan Test, whatever it was called. So that was like the Season 7 style of Bling Bling, so that was actually our first look at Bling Bling in the style. But then again, that one was like a mixture of Season 7 and the Lost Web Series, so that also is bringing up a theory that I'm going to work on later, of like how this can connect, and potentially Season 7 can bring back the Lost Web Series. Yeah, I think I might be working on a theory on that sometime. But anyway guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate that. Thank you guys so much for all the support through then, through now. I love you guys so much, and let me know your favorite moment in the scene, like your favorite part or whatever. And with all that being said, I will most certainly hope to see you guys in the next video. Stay fresh.